want to talk about a healthy relationship timeline, right? So we talked about this. What is the timeline of dating, right? I know a lot of people had questions. So yesterday we went over step 1, friends, step 2, friends with benefits, and step 3, girlfriend, right? So moving through this, there's a couple of things that I want to point out. So in the beginning, your focus is trying to show her the best time, right? That is the main focus. I love what Jared said yesterday. You are the flame, she is the moth, right? Online dating, reframe, right? So when it comes to online dating, trying to pull her out of that, okay, we're dating right in the beginning, it really misses that mark a lot of the time of that spark. How can we actually move her out of like, we're on an online date to, okay, I feel like I'm meeting a friend that I haven't seen in a while for the first time, right? So how can you shift that energy? And then read and lead. Is she initiating? Is she receptive to my advances? That's how you know you can move on to the next phase, which is friends with benefits, right? Jared, do you want to go into the 1-3 rule of engagement?
Yep. So the 1 to 3 rule of a friend with benefits, you're hanging out with her once every week, and you're only texting or talking to her, interacting 3 days a week. You don't hang out with her more than that. You don't talk to her more than that. But Jared, she's texting me on the 4th day. She's hitting me up. Then you fucking wait till a couple of days go by. You don't have to get back to her right away. Wait until you used up your 3 days. So if you text her Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because you're a needy little bitch, and then she texts you Thursday, you don't text her again until Monday. You used it up. You used it up. That was on you. However, if you text her on Monday, don't text her on Tuesday. She texts you on Wednesday. You don't text her back Wednesday, but you text her on Thursday. And by the way, it's not one text. You can go back and forth all day on Monday. You can talk, right? But then you wait till Thursday. You're texting her on Thursday. And then the next day, Friday, you're texting her on Friday to hang out. And then you hang out Friday night. You play a game I like to call tummy sticks. And then after that, you're done. You hang out with her one time, you talk to her 3 times, but you're limiting. You're showing her the boundaries of limiting it. Now, if you want to get to the girlfriend, 1-3 becomes 3-1. The 3-1 rule is you are seeing her 3 times a week. Probably not, maybe not more than that. I mean, you could, I guess, but at least 3. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could. At least 3 times a week to make her a girlfriend. And you're texting her or communicating some way every single day. You are showing her that you are part of her life. You are cemented in. Friends with benefits, you're in her life, but you're not like the whole, like you got your own shit going
on. Right. Good morning texts. I don't know about you, Anna, but especially after I've had sex for the first time and I'm showing my receptiveness levels, right? I'm into him. I love a good morning text. I do personally, right? It makes me feel safe. It makes me feel comfortable. I like that. What are your thoughts?
I think it's cute. Personally, I never thought it was necessary, but I think it's really cute. To me, when a guy does that, it shows that they're being cute. They want to like be involved more and they actually like care.
Mm-hmm. But what do you need to see post-sex to make it feeling like it's leading to a relationship?
We're not in a relationship, or we're in a relationship.
You're in a friend with benefits.
We're friends with benefits. Yeah, if we're friends with benefits, I don't need a good morning text. If anything, that night you be like, "Hey, did you get home okay?" And like cut. Like kind of what he said. If you're friends with benefits, you only communicate like very limited amount of times. So sometimes, like when I wasn't, even me personally, I'm a girl. Like when I wasn't ready for a relationship, like I wouldn't even respond sometimes to the good morning text because I was like the guy.
I want to clarify though. So friends with benefits, that if you're leading into, it's like before you've asked to be the girlfriend.
You're in friend with benefits, but the guy wants to get the girlfriend.
Right, and there's that vibe, right, where you're actually seeing each other often. There's a heavier chemistry.
Yeah,
right?
You're in her mind more. She's like, "Oh, he's like, good morning, I'll say it back." You could tell that she's actually interested in if she's actually communicating with you after like the good morning text. You could tell if she's interested or not.
Let me tell you guys. All right, honestly, you guys want the juice? You guys want the real fucking shit that's gonna get you a girlfriend? All right. All right? What you ask any girl on the street? And you ask her this question: what does every guy want? What is a girl gonna say? You ask any girl on the street, what do men want? They just want sex. All they want is sex, right? Watch what happens when after sex, the next time you hang out with her, you do a really nice romantic date. You put in effort after you just get what you want. All right. Everyone knows, a girl knows that this guy's gonna bend, he's gonna bend over backwards and do all kinds of crazy shit to hook up with her. The flowers, the nice dinner, going, cute shit or whatever. You hook up or you fuck her date 3 or 4, make date 4 or 5 some cute little scavenger hunt shit that leads to her favorite chocolate or whatever the fuck. All right. Come with flowers afterwards. Show her effort after you got what you want. So you mind fuck her and make her realize, like, wait a minute. He's still putting effort in. I thought guys don't do this, because they don't. What the fuck guy puts in more effort after sex, right? Like, it's after that, what they're used to is, babe, let's just smoke and chill at my place. Come on, let's just Netflix. Let's just hang out. Why can't the girl just come to my place and smash and just hang out? Like, that's your fucking competition. You understand? Your competition doesn't really exist. The fact that you're here knowing any of this shit, if you get this far, you're so fucking golden. Just stop getting in your own way and doing weird, like, attachment style shit that's gonna mess it all up. Right? You don't send, like, love you bombs and blow shit. Like, your competition is atrocious. This will be one of the best actionable things you can do. After sex, that's when to take her on a big, nice, romantic gesture, date, whatever. Now, within reason. Don't be like, I got his tickets to fucking France and I bought you a car and I got, like within reason. But, like, flowers, a cute scavenger hunt, the good morning text, like Jamie was saying. Dude, like, that's a big signal where the girl goes, holy shit, this is awesome.
Okay, there's another one that I want to talk about. Romantic gestures past the 3rd date. That's really good. So again, this is what he was saying, like, after sex, like, doing the romantic thing. That shows really, like, that's like high status, high value man shit. Like, that's really, really attractive. Also, another thing is travel. Now, obviously, if you guys are, in the beginning of it, maybe hold off. But one test that I think is really good, kind of leading in, if it's in between time of, like, okay, we're seeing each other pretty consistently. We're not girlfriend and boyfriend yet. Taking a small little trip together, to a music festival, a concert, or something like that. It's, you guys are working together as a common goal to get through the weekend, to do all the travel things. It actually can draw you guys closer together and really emphasize that intimacy level. I think that's another really, really good test. Like, I know that's happened with Michael and I. We went to Oregon together and we just, like, had the best time, and I knew I wanted to be his girlfriend for the moment.
Anna's got a test.
Yeah, I love what you just mentioned, going to Oregon together. So you guys are in the car. I feel like a really good test is when you're alone together in the car, does she annoy you or not?
Ooh, that is a really good one.
So important. Like, can you guys actually be, like, in silence, or just, like, be okay? Just, like, that little stuff is so important.
And that goes back to, like, the nice guy, where it's like, oh, I feel like I need to fill the silences, because if it's silent, that means that she's bored. Again, that's a limiting belief, right? So let's get out of that frame. Sometimes silence is
At that point, it was nice. I mean, I remember, like, I literally remember driving, and when neither one of us were talking, and I'm like, I don't feel any. I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah.
I could just relax.
Right. It's actually, it's a level of comfort. So again, reframing your thinking. I'm trying to think of anything else that is, prompting to test if she wants the same type of relationship. Is this relationship something that you're into?
This is a good one. Is the relationship what you're actually into? Most of us don't know what we actually want because of childhood trauma, because of repressed emotions, because of bad relationships. That's so fucking subliminal. That's in the back of our heads. It's stuff that can either take years, and I'm telling you, years and years and years, and burning relationships, unless you do it the right way. Unless you actually handle it at the root cause. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there's, like, what, 12 guys in here? And another 12 probably watching this right now, or whoever may be watching this. I promise you, you don't know what you're into. And you don't, not really, and you don't really know how to make it work. And you want to know how I can say that with 100% certainty? Because you've never done it before. The fact that you're here means if we want to look at stats, every person here has failed in some way, shape, or form in a relationship 100% of the time. Some of it might have been your fault, some of it might have been your partner's fault, granted. Right? Some of you are like, but I've been cheated on, nothing to do with me. But for whatever reason, it didn't work out. This is an insanely hard thing to get right.
Mhm.
So much so, I think it's like you have a 98%. This is a good thing about if you're talking to, you know, a young girl, whatever. There's like a 98% shot that any woman before the age of 30 won't last in their relationship. I mean, do some crazy thing or whatever. So this is a very, very hard thing to get right. But when you get it right, before Anna, I never took much stock into that, like when you know type shit. It's something I always heard people say. But I was like, you don't know. There's always doubt. You never know. No, guys, when you know, you know. And that comes from doing really deep inner work and getting over the subliminal, subconscious problems and habits and patterns. And that's not easy. You can do it the long way, or you can shortcut it, and we'll give you some ideas how in a bit.
Okay. All right, so yeah, the attraction ladder stays the same. You're just ramping it up quicker. So I think there's like a little difference between just like friends with benefits and you want to stay there versus you want to lead her into your girlfriend. So you're doing more of them, right? And also you're reading her receptiveness levels at the same time. So how to keep her. So new projects, new trips, new hobbies. I think that once you guys are together, the newness, it's the newness matched with the familiarity. Those are the two elements that I think really tie people together, right? So new projects, new trips, new hobbies, those are really going, I mean, I honestly got this from my parents. Like, this is what led them to be in a happy marriage. They've been married, I think, like almost 38 years, I want to say. They're constantly working on a project. They're constantly they just bought an RV together. They always play tennis together. They do all the, like, their wine nights. Like, they do all the things together, right? They just love spending time together. Keeping it fresh, always be flirting. Always be making her sexy. We are going to talk about this in the next slide, but how to avoid getting cheated on. Esther Perel talks about this. One of the main reasons why women cheat, especially that have been in a relationship a long time, they don't feel sexy anymore because their man starts to, I already got her. I know I can have sex with her. It kind of stops, quote unquote, trying, right? So all of a sudden she meets a guy that relives herself into this sexy version that she used to be, and she wants to re-explore that, right? So always trying to be flirting with her, making her feel sexy, making her feel desired. That is going to help. Keep growing and developing yourself. Don't get complacent just because you got the girl, right? It's like getting a new job. You got your dream job. Yay. But now the work begins, right? So if you have the girlfriend, amazing. Now the work begins to maintain that relationship. Divide up all the household chores and own yours. You guys, they came out with a study recently. And it's saying when a partner does more household labor, when women do more household labor, they see their partner as dependent and their sexual desire dwindles. They did a study and it was a direct correlation of if the woman does more household chores, their sex life is a lot less. So that's obviously once you guys live together, things like that. But again, dividing up the household chores is really important. And then it's never 50-50. This is Brene
Everyone
Brown.
says marriage should be 50-50. It's the biggest crock of bullshit I've ever heard. It's never 50-50.
Yeah.
Ever. And so what we do is we quantify where we are. So if Steve comes home and he'll be like, I got 20.
Just in terms of energy.
Just energy, investment, kindness, patience. I'm at 20. And I'll be like, I'll cover you. I got you, brother. Like, I'll pull the 80. Sometimes we come home, which we have done a lot. My mom has been sick and I'll say, I've got 10. And Steve would, like 2 days ago, said, I'm riding a solid 25. So we know that we have to sit down at the table anytime we have less than 100 combined and figure out a plan of kindness toward each other.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, because the thing is, marriage is not something that's 50-50. A partnership works when you can carry their 20 or they can carry your 20. And that when you both just have 20, you have a plan where you don't hurt each other.
So I love that, you guys. That to have that level of communication takes so much practice, so much inner work, so much healing, so that your ego doesn't get in the way. Your need for approval doesn't get in the way. Your avoidance of disapproval doesn't get in the way. And that all stems from childhood trauma, past relationship, unhealthy toxic patterns, things like that, your limiting beliefs, all of that needs to be healed so you can get to a point where you are in this headspace and have that level of communication with your partner. That's what's going to keep this marriage working, right? Because that's what most of us are all after in the long run.
Everyone says,
Okay. Best practices to avoid being cheated on. So while still a terrible choice to make, cheating is rarely committed due to chronic philandering, right? So almost always cheating is a product of unhappiness or unfulfillment in the relationships felt by one or all parties, right? So again, Esther Perel said the chronic philandering part, that was so good. Most cheating doesn't happen just because, okay, she belongs to the streets and she just has this like urge to have sex, right? A lot of it happens because one or both parties, it just, something isn't working and their communication isn't functional, right? So the best way to see if you can trust someone is to trust them and go from there and hold them accountable, right? So again, a lot of, drop a 1 in the chat if you've been cheated on and it feels like it's affecting your ability to trust women again, right? Yeah, we've all been there. So again, to reflect and to think and to challenge those thoughts. What's a healthier perspective? A healthier perspective is she is not my ex. I am a different person. She's a different person, right? So, and the best way to trust someone is to trust them and see where that goes and hold them accountable and cross that bridge if and when you get there, right? Continued affection and effort into the relationship. So when in doubt, become the man you were when she first fell in love, right? So in that, so many guys, they get their heads wrapped up in like, oh, I feel like it's different now. I feel like she's moving away from me, that anxious attachment, right? I feel like she's moving away from me. So I'm going to try extra hard. Well, in the beginning, did you try extra hard for her? No, because what you're learning here, right? The non-neediness. Okay, so go back to who you were when you first attracted her. Who was that person, right? That is the guy that's going to bring her back around. Women are the most turned on when they feel desired. You guys, this is huge. This goes back to always be flirting. ABF, baby, right? Always be flirting. Always be trying to make her feel confident, sexy, and even in the bedroom, right? Compliment her body. Tell her how sexy you think she is. You know what I mean? Pinch her ass when she walks through the kitchen, especially when she's in her pajamas and her hair is tied and no makeup on, right? That is how you make her feel continuously sexy. Something else that Michael does too, like we're watching Yellowstone, I'm watching Yellowstone for the first time. And the girl, by the way, who's seen Yellowstone? The wife, don't tell me what happens, I'm still in the first season. The wife is so fucking hot. So every time she's on the camera, I'm like, damn, she's so hot. And he's always so good to be like, but you're prettier. Even though it's a fucking lie. Let's be real here. But he says little things and it makes me feel so good and so cute and so like confident in myself, right? Like he's always trying to say, like the other day I asked him like who his celebrity crush is, and he's like, you. He's like, you're famous on TikTok, you. And I was like, stop it. Like cute shit. That's good guy shit. But either way, this is, and I think a big one is I know I saw so many people dropping a 1 in the chat about being cheated on and about overcoming that. Again, what's happening, that anxiety, what's happening in your body when you experience anxiety, it's your mind telling you, hey, listen, I have a new girl, like let's go for her. But your body is saying, this is unsafe because of past experiences. So it's the discrepancy between mind and body. We need to align and get on the same page, right? And this is where psilocybin, at least for me, really helped me do that. My mind and my body started becoming aligned, and my anxieties, my worrying if he's the one, my worrying if he's going to cheat on me started dissipating because I was now on a new page. And that has been a huge wake-up call for me. Jared, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get my story. I got my stories coming up. I don't want to give away the goods just yet.
Okay, okay, okay. All right, how to hold and maintain boundaries and having tough conversations. So I kind of broke this down into, because I know we're really into the timeline thing. So like meeting her, the talking phase, the relationship phase, and sexual boundaries, right? So meeting her, when it comes to maintaining boundaries, like this is just some things that I've thought of over the years. Like there's one thing that I've noticed when it comes to when you're talking to a girl and she's constantly canceling your plans. She's, not being receptive. She's just giving you kind of like very low investment answers and not really being hot and cold, whatever. A way to hold boundaries is to be like vibe check text, which is, hey, just want to, do a quick vibe check, see how we're feeling about things. Let me know either way. You're trying to seek to understand where she's coming from so that you can better figure out if you want to continue with that or move away from it. Because that's all what holding boundaries is. You're not trying to control what she's doing, but you're choosing to allow or avoid people into your life that are not doing something that's serving you. Okay. Actually, I'd love to get your 2 cents on this, Jared. Meeting
No.
her, if she's asking right off the bat, well, so why are you single?
And that's a very good thing. That means she's attracted to you.
Mm-hmm.
No girl in the history of girl has asked a guy she's not interested in why they're single. They just go, I get it. Don't look at a guy they're not trying to be like, I see why you're single. If she's asking why you're single, they want to know if you're a player. They want to know if you're seriously dating or not. They want to know if you have any weird hangups with your whatever the fuck. They want you to pass, but they're trying to be smart and be safe to, for their own stuff. So it is look, if you're not trying to seriously date, it's a shit test, and you handle it like any other shit test.
Right.
If you are trying to seriously date, then a good way to answer is because I'm looking for the one and I haven't found it yet. You could just say it because I'm looking for the right one. I'm not looking because I don't want to be with anything. I want to be with the right thing. And I don't know what it is about insert city here, but haven't found it yet.
So Mitch, what you said, can I say waiting for a girl like you to come along? Again,
Yeah.
that's not
Clarity.
you leading emotionally. She leads emotionally. That would be an example of you leading emotionally. Right? So you wouldn't want to say something like that.
You're still trying to get her in that case, Mitch, right? Do you see how you're trying to get her versus, hey, I got high standards. I'm quality, like I haven't found what I actually want. I see other options, but it's not for me.
Okay, what about the talking phase? Like if it's too soon, like I think that some girls are out, they're really trying to have a relationship and they're trying to rush into what are we? And it's only been like a week,
Oh, man.
right? What would you say?
Well, the last girl that did that, I kicked her out of my bedroom, so that's not a good example, but it depends what you want. Look, okay, so you're saying in this case it's way too soon, right?
Right.
Then you could say, what are we?
I
Look-
hate when someone says, "What are we?"
I
I feel
know.
like there's such a better way that you could say it.
Right.
But when a girl says, what are we? And it's too soon. Again, it depends. Like, are we looking at this girl as a girl you want to keep hooking up with and friends with benefits and fun? Or do you see potential in her as being your girlfriend? But it is too soon, right? You're not sure yet.
Right. You're not
I
sure
would say,
yet.
let's go with the latter, because that's the point of this talk. Let's say it's a ladder, right? Like you like her, there's potential, but do you want to make your girlfriend right now? No. You can say, what we are is dating. And I want to see where this goes. Can I give you a label right now? No. But I know I like you and I know I want to see you again. And I'm definitely open to more happening. I'm definitely open to, I'm definitely open to more. I'll tell you what, ask me again in a month. Because I think then is when you're going to get the answer you're looking for.
Right.
Something like that. Something to let her know, like, listen, we're going the right direction. I'm liking it, but now is not the right time. I'm not there just yet. And the frame is always, I do like you, and you have to go with really short. I like you. I want to see you again. I want to date. I want to date you seriously. I'm not a guy looking for a situationship. You can even say that, like, because that's what she's scared of. She like, if you see the potential, now if you are looking for a situationship, you handle this very differently. But if you see the potential, let her know. It's like, basically, you're letting her know, hey, there's potential here. I'm not ready to be like, yeah, I'm your boyfriend right now, and I'll go all in because, and you can say, because I'm a guy when I'm all. Here's another great little soundbite. I'm the kind of guy when I go all in, I actually mean it. I'm actually all in, so I do not take this lightly. And I don't want to tell you something and ever lie to you or half-ass anything. But I like the way this is going, and I like how, I like how we are. So what are we? We are dating, we are having fun, we are being serious about it, and we are someone who I'm excited to see what's going to happen real soon.
Right.
But ultimately, ask me again in a month.
So that is maintaining your boundaries, right? Because it's too soon. And then sexual boundaries. So listen,
What is it? Hold on, I want to understand. What is too soon though? When she asks what you are, doesn't it show she has an anxious attachment style? Maybe, but does that mean every girl with an anxious attachment style can't be like everybody's? Look, every girl you meet, and Anna's got her baggage. I've got my baggage. Right? There's no such thing as somebody perfect. So it's kind of like choose your poison. If you're going to tell me a girl has an anxious attachment style, she's a little bit, she's anxious, whatever, but she checks every other box in your relationship spreadsheet. Like, then instead of just being like, oh no, fuck that, she's anxious, screw that. It's let's work through it. Because if you're going to write off if you're going to write off women based on anything that goes wrong, good luck. Good luck out there. Like no matter what, you're going to have to work through some shit. Reason why she felt, oh yeah, yes, yeah, that could be a reason. Absolutely, she had yeah. But you want, okay, so I misunderstood. You want to have empathy in that case, not just like, oh no, anxious attachment style, I'm not going to do that. It's like, come on.
and then the last one, sexual boundaries. So sexual boundaries, I mean, a lot of people might disagree with me, but I think there is a little bit of an argument when it comes to waiting to have sex. Don't rush into it. I know people are going to disagree with me, but I don't care. I think that sometimes guys fall into the frame of they're only after the chase, right? And so they start rationalizing away red flags when you first start hooking up, if it's like the first night that you meet. Now, again, I'm not saying, I actually know 3 of my best girlfriends, they're all married. They all had sex with their husbands the first night that they met. So obviously it can work. But I will say, if you are someone that has gotten into toxic relationship patterns in the past, it might be because you were falling in love with the future idealized version of this person instead of what's actually happening now. And a lot of the reasons why men do that is if they have sex too soon. They start rationalizing away, justifying all the reasons because it's working, right? You're having sex. So maybe if you just wait a little bit, 3rd date, right? You'll get more of that valuable time to figure out if you like her and if she really does meet all of your qualifications. Okay. Conflict resolution. So this is what I want to talk about when it comes to being in a relationship, right? This is
That's a
Esther
good
Perel.
way to end the fight.
I don't think at this moment I'm doing justice to this conversation. I'm gonna go cool off and we'll come back. Because otherwise I'm gonna regret what I'm gonna say and I don't wanna do that. And then you need to not follow me around the house. You need to let me go and trust that I will come back. The person who leaves has the right to go, but they have to be the one to come back. 2, you know what? Apology is really important. When I did this yesterday, I was out of line. I was angry. I wanted to shoot. I wanted to hurt. I felt attacked. And I really regret this. And I'm really sorry. That goes a long way too.
So these are just really good ways of handling conflict resolution. Because again, Esther Perel, she's amazing, by the way, if you don't know her. She talks about, how do I avoid conflict? How do I avoid conflict? She's like, you don't. Conflict is necessary. Fights are necessary because if there's no fighting, that means someone is not being honest with themselves. So it's not about the conflict. It's not about the fight. It's about the repair, right? How can you repair, right? So when it comes to being truthful with yourself, having worked those boundaries, you can actually become stronger on the other end of it, right? So something that I love that Jared said, change her mood, not her mind. I love that. So in the talking phase, obviously you're not going to have these like huge, I mean, you shouldn't have these like, gigantic conflicts, whatever. But when it comes to like, if there's a little, something that she maybe not liked, or like there's a little bit like of a tiff, being able to use humor to kind of lower her defenses and reshift and reframe is really good. Like I love that. Changing her mood, not her mind. Because a lot of women, when they are complaining, they just want someone to listen, right? And to change their mood, not necessarily give advice. But a lot of men, we're fixers. You guys are fixers. You guys are trying to fix the problem, solve the problem, caretake, right? And that's not necessarily what women are wanting all the time. Jared, do you want to add to this?
Yeah, I think this is a big part of any kind of I love what you said. Like the goal of relationships is not to never have fights. It's to know how to fight, how to work through it properly. And I think it just comes back. My big thing when it comes to conflict resolution is coming back to that mindset of we are on the same team, we're on the same team, we're on the same team. It's very different fighting with someone who you look at as you're on the opposing team and I gotta win, versus you're fighting with a teammate while you're doing your, remember back to shared mission. Like it's just different when you're fighting with somebody who you know is on your team's got your back. And it goes into that whole like fixing, that misunderstanding and whatnot. So as long as you're going from that place where you don't lose sight of it, you will find the fighting and the conflict comes from every time it's like, how can we get back to working together as a team unit versus how can we, how can I be right? And sometimes I'll even joke with Anna, like she'll be like, it was my idea. I came up with something. I'm like, well, I'm dating you, so that means it was our idea. Haha. So we win. Right? I'll just like do a little like reminders like, well, if you win, I win. If I win, you win. So it doesn't matter to me.
Right.
Like
Okay.
that's the ideal where it's like, well, fuck. Like you get out of this whole like me versus you versus we're fighting so we can get back to teamwork.
Okay.